So good morning. I'm Marcus Malone, the VP of Sales at HRO Resources. We help our clients in a lot of different ways with reducing costs on a broad scale and creating efficiencies within their business. And this morning, we're going to be interviewing Caroline Cobell of Caroline's Kitchen. And looking forward to hearing from Caroline and having her talk to us a little bit about her restaurant and what her experience has been through this so far. So Caroline, thanks for joining this morning.
How are you?
Doing great, doing great. So Caroline, go ahead and tell us a little bit about Caroline's Kitchen. Tell us about your restaurant and where you're located and those type things.
So Caroline's Kitchen was my inaugural business that I started in Tomball, and we have since consolidated both of those over to Caroline's Healthy Eatery, and that one is on Louetta, just east of Vintage Park. And I am the only 100% gluten-free and 100% sugar-free restaurant and bakery in the Houston metropolitan area. We specialize in the keto lifestyle, so we don't mention diet about that, but it is a way of eating that helps reduce inflammation, helps people lose weight if that's what they're doing, and it helps manage a whole host of health issues that people have, from diabetes to I personally have degenerative disc disease and rheumatoid arthritis, and so I don't take any pain medications, none of those crazy infusions that you see on TV, and so I just manage it with my diet, and a lot of other people do as well.
That's awesome. Well, I'm a big believer in that lifestyle. Actually, my wife and I, that's our diet, right? So we're gluten-free, kind of paleo, keto type,
Right.
diet, and it makes a huge difference. So like you said, with inflammation, we try to stay in the gym, as often as we can, and just, the older we get, our joints still feel good so long as we're eating the right foods and putting the right things in our body.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I love that. Well, so tell us a little bit about your experience the last couple of months. I mean, really, it's been like nothing we've ever seen.
It is, it couldn't have happened at the worst time. We had, like I mentioned, had our flagship store in Tomball, and we were going to try and keep both of them open, as well as the new eatery, but it just literally shut everything down. And we had to determine how we were going to pay our employees, if we were going to pay our employees, were we going to furlough them, were we just going to lay them off so they could get unemployment? How was I going to buy ingredients? Or do I make everyone come in still? Do I cut my own throat at the cost of my employees? I mean, it was a lot of stuff that we had to go through and decide and determine. And I've learned some things, and I believe that I'm going to come out on the other side stronger with a better business knowledge of where I can cut costs. And for a restaurant, the biggest cost is actually labor, payroll. That's our biggest cost, and it is not food costs; it's labor.
That's awesome. So definitely sounds like a good learning experience, and you've been
Absolutely.
So far through all this. Have you guys done some things different or some creative things versus what you've done in the past to kind of help?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We had a lot of people who were in the kitchen. I was fully staffed up. We had probably about 12 people here on staff at the eatery alone. And it was a rude awakening. And I absolutely learned that with a little bit better organization and a little bit better preparation, I was able to cut it down from 12 employees down to about 3. And I put the brunt of the work in, working 7 days a week. And then I had one of my girls, she came in 5 to 6 days a week. And I had another one, she came in 1 to 2 days a week. And then of course my kids, they were working with me as well. And they, came to work same days that I did. And so we just tried to prep as much as we could and be a little bit unique with our acquisition of ingredients and things. We did reach out to a few other small businesses and would trade things that I had, maybe they needed, things that they had that I needed. And behind the scenes, it worked out really well for a lot of small businesses.
That's awesome. Yeah, I hadn't thought about something like that. That's smart. That's a good idea. So what about, did you guys apply for a PPP loan, or were you able to do that?
I did. I applied for the EIDL loan as well as the advance that goes along with that. And we have yet to hear a peep out of any of those things. We did apply for the payroll protection program loan, and we were just recently approved the 4th. What was that, Monday?
Yeah.
Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like literally within the last 24 to 48 hours, we were approved for that. And it has been a fabulous blessing because now it's like, okay, I had been trying to increase my business and my revenue enough to where I could start bringing some employees back. And I had planned on bringing people back anyway, just under different job descriptions and different pay rates and things, to where they came in, got their work done, and then went home, to help it make it a little bit easier on me. And now we're able to venture out. I'm able to get back into creating and new recipes and things versus, having my nose to the grindstone, having to crank out all of these things that we've been doing.
That's great. I'm glad that worked out for you. I'm sure that was.
Oh yes, I was shocked and appalled is not the right word, but pleased and surprised and cried about it, because I have friends that have closed their doors that won't reopen. I have friends right now that are wondering how they're going to survive. They've pushed off their own personal mortgages. They've pushed off their own personal credit card bills to be able to put whatever cash influx is needed into their businesses.
Amazing. That's amazing. Well, I'm glad it's working out well for your business so far. That's great. And so maybe tell us a little bit about kind of what your operations look like today, as things kind of begin to reopen at a small capacity. Do you have in-house dining, takeout, delivery? Kind of what does that look like?
We have moved our in-house dining to al fresco, for a fancy word. So now we have our tables outside. 25% of my capacity is 16. So we have 4 tables that will seat 4 outside. Luckily, the weather it's beautiful. It's springtime, and but that really doesn't seem to matter, because I can tell you I haven't had more than one group of people come and set to dine here since they've released the ability to be able to have 25%. So the dine-in traffic is not coming back, at least not that I'm seeing. I think a lot of Mexican restaurants saw a lot of traffic yesterday, but as far as myself, people are still calling in, pre-ordering, getting it curbside, or getting it to go and taking it home. But prior to this, you needed reservations to come in and sit on Saturday or Sunday, because we had our brunch, the only keto brunch that is in the town at all. And so it's gone from a packed house to maybe 3 or 4 people, and so that it's very scary, but my customers, my friends, they're all supporting us as best they can.
I think it's just going to be one of those things. It'll be a slow process of people just getting confidence, and feeling good about it.
It's going to be months and months. This isn't something that we're going to be able to go, oh, it's the 4th of July and everything's back to normal. I think this is going to carry on definitely towards the end of the year.
Yeah, certainly. I think an important part of being able to adapt and make it through that is going to be having the right mindset and kind of,
Absolutely.
That.
Absolutely. You have to adapt. You have to do different things, and you have to be creative and have new things that make people want to come in.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I was going to ask you, and you kind of described some things there that kind of answered that, but have you done some things differently, or thinking about doing some things that might help give your customers more confidence that you're COVID safe and it's okay to come in? I mean, the outside dining makes a lot of sense.
We wear masks, we wear gloves. My kitchen staff wears masks and gloves. There's a lot of chatter about people going to restaurants and they're seeing people not using masks, not using gloves. It's hard. It's hard. It is something that I do. I want people to feel safe when they come in. We've got antibacterial wipes. We've got antiviral wipes as well. We've got the hand sanitizers by the cash register. We wipe down the doors. Probably every 30 minutes, somebody's cell phone goes off, and we have everybody's cell phones with different alarms that they're responsible for. Oh, it's so-and-so's time to go and clean, and they'll go and they'll grab a couple of wipes and they'll wipe down everything that you touch, everything that anybody could touch. We wipe down the tables outside, even if no one has sat at them. We still clean them again.
That's awesome. That makes me feel good. I'm ready to come in and have some food for sure.
We'd be glad to see you.
I'll be by there soon. That's awesome. And so have you been able to find a successful way to communicate with your customer base, like some of the changes that you guys have made?
Social media, I use that a lot. And I've got some notices that I have posted in my window, so they can read those prior to ever opening up my door. So they know what we are going through. We partnered, or we are a member of the Texas Restaurant Association, so we've gotten a lot of things from that. We utilize a couple of vendors, and we've gotten a couple of vendors, restaurant suppliers, and they've sent us some documentations and some things that we can use and tips and tricks. And of course, the Harris County Health Department sends us information as well, and things that we can utilize in order to make sure that our customers feel safe. And that's what we want them to do, is to feel safe when they come in.
That's awesome. Well,
We
yeah.
have tables to where if you don't feel safe opening up one of the cases to grab your own merchandise, we'll get it for you. We'll set it up for you. If you don't want us touching anything and you want to touch everything, we also have a bagging station so people can put their own items in their own bag and they can be the only ones that touch it. We try to be able to convert to whatever it is that the customer is actually looking for.
Yeah, this is a great conversation too, because these are things that, I mean, from a consumer standpoint, I mean, you really don't, I mean, you're thinking about going to a restaurant and you're just kind of thinking about, you know, your normal restaurant environment, but hearing some of the things that y'all are doing, I mean, that's got to give a lot of folks confidence that, you know, really like, hey, we can do this. We can go eat.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You guys are going above and beyond.
We're all in this together. We're all in this together. And these are all my neighbors, my friends, my family. And I want everyone to be safe and everyone to be healthy and feel comfortable, you know, no matter what your situation is. And as I mentioned before, we do deal with a lot of folks who have health conditions. And when you mention the immunocompromised people, they come here, you know, the diabetics, the people who are on walkers, the people who, you know, need to stay away from, you know, the sugar and the complex or the simple carbohydrates to where it doesn't raise their blood sugars. So they're coming here to be able to get the items that I provide to feel better, to feel healthier.
That's great. Well, yeah, so this kind of looking forward over the remainder of the year, I mean, what are the biggest challenges that you see for the foreseeable future?
What I see for the foreseeable future is to continue to be relevant, to continue to have new things, and to continue to keep myself in the public eye to where people know that I'm still here. Because what's happening is a lot of small business owners are going back in the kitchen. They're going back on the front lines. They're going back standing outside, delivering the curbside, because as I mentioned before, everybody is lowering their staff. I was blessed. I was lucky to have gotten my payroll loan approved. There's people out there who haven't gotten anything yet, not a response, not anything. And so it's hard for them to manage their social media as well as get out there and talk to people and continue to drive customers in your direction. And that's what I'm worried about for some other small business owners, is they don't have the time and they don't have the funds or the capital to be able to go, okay, I'm going to hire someone now to run my social media. And that, I mean, no one can afford commercials anymore. Nobody really says, all right, well, Mattress Mac does, but nobody says, hey, I'm going to do a commercial unless you're Taco Bell or, you know, Burger King or something like that. The small business is the place where you really want to go and eat and support. We don't have revenue for those kind of marketing plans. And so it's all social media. We build relationships with our customers. We build dialogues, conversations, and we ask you, you know, what you want to see from us. And that's how we're moving forward, trying to make sure that we grow and adapt to what people are looking for.
That's awesome. And yeah, and so kind of along those lines of thinking about others. So what advice do you have for other restaurant owners out there?
Put your head down and don't quit. just go until you can't do it anymore. Don't run yourself into the poorhouse. But like I said, I've been working 7 days a week, 15 to 18-hour days, and I've gotten past the hump to where, I mean, thankfully, we've gotten a little bit of cash influx to where I can pay my people, but it was on me. This is my dream. I came from an administrative background, and I quit my job to open up a restaurant, and that's almost 4 years ago, and I can't afford to let all of that go. And it is, it's a lot of people's dreams, and I just, if you need support, you know, give me a call. I'll try to help you out, but it is, people are just tired. They're tired, and this quarantine has wreaked havoc on folks, and emotionally, a lot of people are struggling. And emotionally, I mean, I'm a social person. Emotionally, it's been driving me crazy because I enjoy socialization, meeting people, talking to people, visiting, having conversations, you know, sharing information about each other, but being in the back and being stuck at home and not being able to go and do anything, it's kind of depressing. And I feel bad for the people who suffered with depression prior to this, because now I think it's horrific.
Right. No, that's great advice. And I appreciate you sharing all that. And it is kind of as a reminder, just in general for all of us, really, to make sure every day that we're kind of, going out there with a mindset of, we want to help those around us, like
Absolutely.
looking for a way to, really lift up others around us, because, everybody's dealing with the challenges, in their own way. And we've got to do our job to, kind of support our communities and our friends and our network. So we really appreciate you today, and appreciate, your insight and your advice. Thanks, Caroline. And everybody, go out and support your local restaurants. If you're in the area, stop by, grab a quick meal at Caroline's Kitchen, show them some love, show them some support.
Thank you.
Also, direct any of your restaurant friends that you have to our site, restart-tx.com. It's a site that we've started to kind of help restaurants find resources as they begin to go out and get restarted. Thanks again, Caroline. We really enjoyed having you today.
Thank you. I enjoyed it myself.
Awesome. Well, everybody go out and let's have a great week.
See you
Thanks.
later.